In this video, we will talk about how to simplify three ratios. So here's the two-step process that you can use to simplify three ratios. Step one is find a common factor between each of the values, and step two is divide each value by the common factor. So I have three examples for us to work through here. Let's check out this first example. We have the ratio 8 to 24 to 16. How can we simplify this ratio? Well, step one is we want to find a common factor between 8, 24, and 16. So one way to do that is to just write out the factors of each value. So let's do that. Okay, so here we have listed out each of the factors of 8, 24, and 16. Remember, these are just the numbers that divide evenly into each of these numbers. So what we're looking for is the greatest number that appears in each of these lists. So we can see that 8 is the largest number or the greatest number that shows up in each of these factor lists. So what that means is that 8 is the largest number that will divide into 8, 24, and 16. So step 2 says divide each value by the common factor. So let's do that. 8 divided by 8, that's just 1. So let's write that right here. 1. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And 16 divided by 8 is 2. So 8 to 24 to 16 simplified is 1 to 3 to 2. All right, let's try another example. Let's say we have the ratio 40 to 12 to 20. How can we simplify this ratio? Well, first we want to find a common factor between 40 and 12 and 20. So let's write out the factors of each of those. Okay, so we've written out the factors of 40, 12, and 20, and we're looking for the greatest number that appears in each of these lists. So we can see that would be a 4. That's the greatest number that shows up in each list. So what that means is 4 is the largest number that will divide into 40, 12, and 20. So step 2 is we just divide each of these values by 4. So we'll say 40 divided by 4, let's write that right here. That would be 10. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 20 divided by 4, that's 5. So here's our simplified ratio. 40 to 12 to 20 simplified would be 10 to 3 to 5. All right, let's try one more example. Let's say we have the ratio 11 to 3 to 7. How can we simplify this ratio? Well, once again, we'll try to identify a factor that 11, 3, and 7 have in common. So let's list out the factors of each of those numbers. So the factors of 11 are 1 and 11. The factors of 3 are 1 and 3, and the factors of 7 are 1 and 7. So we can see that the largest number that will go into 11, 3, and 7 is just a 1. So what that means is if we were to divide 11 and 3 and 7 all by 1, we would still be left with 11 to 3 to 7. So it turns out that this ratio already is simplified. In other words, there are no common factors that we can divide these three values by to simplify it any further. So just keep that in mind. When you encounter a ratio like this, where the three values don't all share a common factor, that means that the ratio is already in simplified form.